And you're welcome back from the break. We're moving on to USA. The U.S. Agency for International Development, the Ford Foundation, Funsho, and Show of Force and Games for Change. So many agencies coming together, and they've launched the Have the Sky movement, media, and technology engagement initiative. I tell you, by the time you finish pronouncing all this, all your teeth will be out. And this initiative is to create behavior change toward gender issues, particularly in India and Kenya, but we will concentrate in our part of the world, Africa. And in Kenya, they're using the traditional and social media. They target in health delivery, employment, education, and also money. You know how often you touch on millions of seed. I remember last was it last week when we were talking about $700 million and you said it's chicken change. Oh, for your information, somebody would like to know what is big money to Funsho. I said I don't know. I have to ask Funsho when I see him because 700 million is chicken change. But back to this one, to make sure that men and women are being treated the same, are being paid the same for doing the same job. That if you're going for health delivery, they won't say that, oh well, this being a man, I should rather take care of the man and forget about the woman, or rather give the job to a man. Maybe the woman might even be much more qualified than the man. So this is just to make sure that everyone is treated equally and fairly. What do you think?
I think it is a fair play, really. But let me quickly say that this is really not a problem, especially when you're talking of folks in Africa. I know we want to zero this into Africa. Especially because you remember 4 years ago when President Obama came into the White House to lead this country, the very first bill that he signed to law was in respect of equal pay for equal work, in support of women who had always been shortchanged. Me and you are doing the same job. You put in the same number of hours, like I put in the same task, and you probably excel a little more than me, or maybe I excel more than you, but we're doing the same job.
And
but I get a lot
more
than you get, and that's unfair anywhere in the world. But I refer to the President Obama's bill because that is in the United States of America. And so if that is still happening here, even today, despite our bill, it's not a big deal that it's happening in Africa. Especially when you look at the culture that we have out there in Africa. There's no denying the fact that people have lived forever in their culture. You can't take their culture away from them. That's number one. And as a matter of fact, it is crazy that we kill our culture. I know a lot of African organizations or associations here in the United States and also back home who are working tirelessly to resuscitate the culture that we have lost to the Western culture. Our kids are wearing Western dresses, they behave like they're in America, they never left their village, you know what I'm saying? And they behave as if they're in America and all of that. There's no big deal about doing that. You can do that, but it kills the culture that we have.
I understand what you're saying and where you're coming from. You know, you have to take every culture, environment you move in, take what is positive and good in there and do away with the negative stuff and vice versa.
That's right.
But if we want to narrow it down once again to being paid the same for doing this, I think is in the right direction.
It's
fair.
It's fair.
But you think it's going to be hard for people to
I don't think
to accept this change?
Even back in Africa, I know, for instance, in Nigeria, there's great movement about equal pay for equal work, and people are accepting it, no question about it. As a matter of fact, you'll find in Africa that a lot of women who are in top positions. In banking industry, for instance, the banks that were doing very well that I know, at least in memory serves me right, years ago, they were led by women. They were led by women, and they are doing very well. You see, the truth is this: women, especially when it comes to, of course, a lot of women had also been found to be corrupt and all of that, but they are not as bad as men when they are in position of power. They have compassion for the people's stuff. You understand what I'm saying? They take care of themselves, they are paid well, they know that, and therefore they take care of business. As a matter of fact, but again, let me tell you something quickly, because I can use Nigeria as another example.
Go ahead.
When you look at, let me give you specifics. There was a situation where the President Obasanjo, in his period, in his last term as President of Nigeria, he was going to appoint, I think he was going after the Pelosi style in America, a woman as a Speaker of the House, or the National Assembly, or we call Congress here. He had to bamboozle his way to make sure that he succeeded. You know, those who were not going to let that happen? Women.
Women
won't
let that happen
by women. I'm telling you.
Right.
This is not history. This is not stories. Reality.
So let me get this straight. Obasanjo, right?
Yeah, President Obasanjo.
In his time,
yeah,
wanted to have a woman as a speaker.
Yeah.
But other women were saying no.
They said no, and it's not
for any particular reason.
Because they just
don't want a woman to be.
Exactly. But irrespective, the man went ahead and he succeeded. You know, of course, there's a question of lobbying the legislators and all of that. And they had no choice, the woman. But unfortunately, the woman messed up.
When you say messed up, exactly.
She dug her hands and fingers, dirty, silly fingers, in the coffers of. And she was disgraced out, unfortunately.
Maybe that's just one.
Unfortunately, that's one. Yes, that's
yeah.
True. But I'm trying to say that even in Africa, the orientation now is women must have equal pay for equal work, and they must be given the position to serve.
Right, fairness, equality. Yeah. So that's on USAID, making sure that gender equality cuts across. And now, viewers, this program is Africa Today. We talk about issues affecting the African continent. We do this every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. and then a repeat broadcast on Mondays at 10:30 a.m. But if you have a busy schedule, just go to NBCLiveTV.com and you can watch that on your mobile device anywhere around the world, and also on all the interesting programs that we have on NBC for you. We have Funsho Olamigoke with us. Now, Funsho, Moanda Say, late to rest in Sweden. He died, I believe he had a stroke. He was quite famous. He's got some really good songs out there. He was 58 years old. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Sad.
Yeah.
And remember a couple of months ago, one of the good actors from Nigeria also had a stroke and also died, I believe, in India.
Yeah.
So we wish him
he's gone.
Peace.
He's
gone. Yeah, may he rest in peace.
I think the lesson to learn from this is especially when we know that we do not have
forever
care back home, and those who can afford, should take care of themselves and not wait particularly until when the situation is like gone crazy
before you run after treatment.
Yeah, that's what happened to Enebeli, the gentleman you were talking about. And in the case of this gentleman too, I believe he lives back home, but when his situation became really bad, he traveled out to Sweden. But I guess it was already too late. And that is a lesson for those who have the capacity, and those, for instance, in the case of Enebeli, who at the end of the day try to help him out. Don't wait until it's too late before you help out.
Right.
You know.
It is. He's gone. We've lost one of our own, and may he rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
We'll be coming back with a very interesting subject, and this one, oh, I know Funsho is going to say a few things that I have a strange feeling I'll be very upset about. But we're taking a short break, viewers. We'll be right back. Please just don't go anywhere. Just stay right there with your TV sets. I know you love this, and you can also go to NBCLiveTV.com and also post your comments on this very particular topic that we're going to talk about when we come back from the break. We're taking a short break. We will be right back.